Good afternoon. Just getting set up. The emails from guys are doing a launch, so I just want to have all my stuff logged in case they need emergency services. But we're gonna get started here. Let me see. So today, basically, update 6 is going to be going out tomorrow or the day after that. So I've got a short list of things that I would like to fix. So one of which is we need to have it so that the mission stuff doesn't show up unless we're in the editor or something like that. So let's get started. So we're going to need inside of the main menu screen. How I'm going to stop this is basically inside of the main menu screen, I can just turn off this guy. So let's just go to globals. So we're going to do disable missions outside of editor. Let's just set that to true. And we'll do it pretty simply. Basically, inside of our main menu screen, inside of our start, we're basically going to say if GNGame, if disable mission outside of editor, we're just going to grab that. What is this? The this.m missions. Let's just say single player button. Let's snag that. And we'll just call hide on it. And we're going to call window.something is in editor. So good afternoon, Karakin. Getting back to the true game, the one game, the only game that matters today. Battletech. No, I'm just... Yeah, we're getting back to Brackensag. So let's see, is it system utils? I want to know, is editor. Yeah, in editor. So let me see where we actually grab system. It should be inside of UI. Let's look for system. Yeah, okay, so we have a system call that we can already do. So it's going to look like this. So this is going to return a true if we're in the editor. So basically it's going to be if data. It's just going to be in editor. So if in editor equals true, then we're going to say that this guy needs to be shown. Alright, so let's get our local server running so we can look at the UI. So inside of the game, we'll see the single player button, but inside of the standalone game, let's actually boot up our editor, and inside of here, I'm just going to say if an editor equals false, then we'll show it. So it should hide it and keep it hidden, and then I can switch that, and that'll be good there. Yeah, so I was thinking the main thing that I kind of want opinions on is I know that the problem right now with glows greenish in UV, who knew? Alcoholics, that's who. Where's my tonic water? The things that I want opinions on would be like the problem right now that I see with some of the games online is that people are now actually grinding out points in the game. And one of the issues is it can get kind of boring, and some people want to play against bots, and if you want bots, you have to like vote them in every single time, and it can get real annoying, and so as a result, people don't play against bots online. So there's a couple of things we can do about that. I could make a bot playlist and get rid of the sticky ball playlist, right? So what we'd have is instead of Sydney sticky ball, we'd have Sydney bots, and basically what it would do is it would always fill up the blue team with bots to the side of the red team or something like that. You know, I can do some simple stuff like that today, and that could, you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Jesus Christ. Look at these fucking points. 100,000. Is he still the leader for own goals? Yeah, he's still the leader for own goals. Alright, so let's boot this up and see what it is. How come Waterfall 01 is here? Alright, so single player is gone. And if we put this back up, single player is still gone. Single player is there. Single player is gone. Excellent. Alright, so we've got our missions outside of the editor. What else do we need to update? We need to go to our globals, and our next update, hello Shakama Gaming. The possibility to unbalance bots. You want to play solo against a heap of bots. That's kind of what I'm thinking, maybe, is the... Because I don't want to go through and make a whole bunch of game modes. I like to do something simple. So it's going to be like, what should the bot playlist be? As long as it's always kind of the same, I could do that. I could make a new game mode that always puts like a bot count to a certain amount, and you could vote for it. Solo against bots. So maybe have a playlist there that's literally just versus bots, and it always... Well, I mean, I'm not really sure what you mean by balance, right? Like if you to balance, you have to have rules that, you know, that the balance goes by. And if we need to make a big rule system that can, you know, that's probably not going to work. So let's see, if next update is 419, what's it going to say? It's going to say 22 days, so days until May 19th. 23 days? Alright, so we just need to put in one more day. So 23 days for missions, so that works. Well, the bots aren't killed. Really, the only data I would have would be like the score or something like that, but I don't know, maybe I should just brainstorm ideas with you guys real quick. So, bot playlist. So, let's see, we could have different game mode options. One possibility would be put X number of bots on the blue team. Alright, so there'd be voting options perhaps. So it sounds like maybe permanent game options. No, I don't really want permanent game options. These servers need to reset. So I could make a bot playlist and have some game mode options that are simple, like bots on blue team or something like that. I mean, I could see voting options being something. Yeah, that's how we. Oh no, that's fine. Like it's an idea, you know. Like depending upon how quickly the bots get killed, there's we can do something like how quickly the bots get angry, or if the bots are losing, that the bots die don't die doesn't really matter. The sentiment's the same. So, use some metric that the bots are being defeated, and try to rubber band the difficulty up to match the current level of play. So. No, it's just I don't have a system for that. That's the only thing. Otherwise, that'd be a good idea. So some of the things with game options is game options change from mission to mission. Bots get reset. I mean, some of the other things I could add would be add it so bots die at the start of each match. Hardest bots. You want bots that are... Well, I mean, this would basically be the bot playlist thing would do that. Alright, so another thing, I want to add a few things, like bots should probably die at the start of a match, or we remove all bots when no players in the match. I think the idea of the game mode options probably is the best one. And the whole bot playlist, alright. Alright, so basically what we're going to want here are more of these guys. So it'll be like red bots, blue bots. Maybe actually implement the auto balance bots. Yeah, kind of how the servers work right now, basically. They have a playlist. So if you look at the server names, basically you can see Chicago Party, Sticky Ball Standard, Standard Sticky Ball Party in London. We've got 3 different game playlists right now, and those playlists have different options on them. So like the Sticky Ball playlist always has matches that have Super Sticky Ball or Sticky Ball on them. Party has just random shit in there. So like look at all that. Like no contact, reset players, big ball, only pop up, crazy teams. And this one is just standard game options such as a larger ball and smaller ball. Things like that. Alright, so I think left and right bots, and then we add these resetting of the bots and removing bots when no players are in the match. Probably will do it. Alright. You like me? I'm smart. No, I've just spent a lot of time messing with this stuff. Alright. So let me take a look at how I'm configuring all this real quick. So I think it's in my config tools. Let me see. Playlist config equals playlist path. Playlist path is either standard, party, or sticky ball. Where are the configuration files, though? That's the question. I think it's inside of playlist config. Playlist config has standard, party, sticky ball, and custom. So we'll need to edit this playlist config to add instead of the sticky ball playlist, we're going to have a different one, which is going to be called the bots. Or, yeah, we'll call it the comp stomp. The bot challenge. Alright, so this playlist contains many match types against bots. Alright. Alright, so custom options. I don't think we're going to have real custom options. Alright, so we're going to have hard bots. Let's see. What would this look like? Basically, we'd want hard bots, we'd want it would be like easy bots, hard bots. We'd also want something simple, such as lots of easy bots and lots of hard bots. And we'd want maybe an auto bots map. Autobots. Jump over pop-up miss? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that something on the forums? Or what? So what you're saying that... I mean, what's happening is the pop-up is being canceled when you hit the ground, right? That's what's... As soon as you touch the ground, your pop-up stops. So that's not a... That's, I believe, on purpose. That was something I was thinking about taking out. But it's definitely not... It's not a bug. That's in there. That's a thing. So what you're asking for is, you don't like it, it's surprising. So that's valid feedback. Include default modes, false. Include default options, false. Options for next match, default modes, 4. Let me see. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Trying to think of what rules would actually come together to create this sort of stuff. Because we need custom options in here that have things. So it's kind of like... What we need here is... We want the regular custom options, so we want default options to be true. Or do we want them to be false and just manually specify everything? I think we'll have it false. Alright, so we want some bots to be something such as write bots to 2. And then we'll have mini bots to be 4. I guess I should have this many write bots, some write bots, many write bots. And then we'll have the same thing here for some left bots and some many left bots. Alright, so there is a request to make the pop-up not be interrupted when you hit the ground. I think right now the biggest reason why it's interrupted is because it looks stupid. Alright, so easy bots, hard bots, one right bot. Let's see, is there a balance? There's no balanced teams, so we'll need this. So balance teams. So the type is going to be auto balance bots to be true. Right, so this is going to be right bots and left bots, or I guess I should just call this balance. It should be right and left bots. Let's just call it balance. Okay, so easy bots. So pretty much how I'm going to make this is there's going to be 5 default modes. That's going to take up every slot. So every slot is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these? Nah, it should be... We'll do 3 default modes. Always in rotation is going to be false for all of them. So how this thing works is it starts off by picking 3 of these modes at random, and then it's going to pick, it's going to make matches out of the rest of this. So we want easy bots, hard bots, lots of easy bots, lots of hard bots, and auto bots. We also probably want like a specific, let's call it a bot friend. Bot friend easy and bot friend hard. So it might be you and one other bot versus 4 bots. So so bot friend hard would put you in with many bots. The other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off the bots taking up player slots. I think that'll solve some of these problems. So bots should just not take up player slots so that, yeah, that's another thing. So you should be able to join regardless. Bots aren't going to take an actual slot in the game. That makes sense. Okay, some of the other things this game mode is gonna want for things. We're gonna want to bring in mat ups. Let's bring in, you know, the favored game mode options here. So mat ups is a good one. Triple jumps, I believe, is also a good game mode that people like. If you have a game mode you want me to make sure is in here, let me know. An option. Stomp teams, no, I don't think so. Sticky ball, I think we're not going to do. Fastball probably would. Fast and slow ball, maybe. I'm not sure about slow ball. Why don't we just take out slow ball? But big ball and multi-ball are good. You want fastball, it's in there. Stealth crouch doesn't matter, only pop-up. Should I also fix only pop-up so it is only pop-up? I could also add a mode in here which is only stomps. So you can only stomp. I think that would be broken. That game mode would not be awesome. I mean, it wouldn't be fun if you couldn't pop up or anything. Like, good luck getting a fucking goal in some of the maps with only stomps. Well, I think these are enough. So we got like the jumping, multi-ball, fastball, double jump, triple jump, man-ups. Those will all be in there. So I think that'll work. So let's get our option sets in here. So our option sets are going to be for easy bots. I guess just easy bots. And this is supposed to be a few, so maybe some raid bots is what it is. So some raid bots. Okay, lots of easy bots is going to be easy bots and many right bots. Then lots of hard bots is going to be hard bots and many right bots. Autobots is just going to be auto balance bots, just balance teams. Bot friend easy and bot friend hard is going to be, let's see, easy bots, many right bots, and one left bots. And then bot friend hard is going to be hard bots. I guess I should also just have bot friend. So it's just going to be normal bots, and we should also do the same thing with just normal bots. So some right bots, hard bots, lots of bots would be another one. So auto bots, balance teams. I guess we could do auto hard bots, which would be hard bots and balance teams. How is it deciding what map is next when no voting takes place? It's random. The idea is to keep cycling through stuff. I could have it, yeah, I could have it if there are no votes whatsoever, it doesn't change. So maybe that's what you're more asking for. Alright, so it'll be random between, right now it's random between the winners, right? And the definition of the winner for a vote is whoever got the most votes. Oh man, so let me say. Shit. Oh man. Alright, well the Maelstrom guys are trying to push their patch live, but they did it without. Basically, the producer started using the automation system, and surprise, he was able to push a patch out live. It wasn't the right patch, but it went out. Yeah. If there are no votes when there are players in the game. Yeah, basically, I'll have it so if there are no votes, it'll just take the last map. That's a pretty simple rule for me to implement, I believe. Alright, so easy bots, one left bot, many right bots. So I think this works. So bot challenge needs to be the actual an in rotation on our live servers. So we're going to go to services, config, tools, and we're going to add it. I don't like to show the configs for stuff on screen just because some of the information, like it's not like passwords and shit. We don't do that. But there's information I'd rather not, so you'll have to excuse me if I don't want to show it all the time. Alright, so sticky ball we can get rid of. Very good. And we have a new map here. So the new map is the scary, spooky caverns, which I'll have to take another look at. No, you're throwing good ideas, and I will say as soon as I'm like, I don't want any ideas. I need to update the server bat file so it has the new map too. Where is it? It's in fucking level data? Where's my level data? There it is. CV Cavern 0. So let's do Caverns Day. Alright, so we're gonna have Alright, so if procnum mod 5 equals 0, 5 equals 1, 5 equals 2, 5 equals 3, or Forest Night. Alright, that looks good. Okay, so I need to update the setup batch file here. He hasn't changed the name from Cool Caverns. Let's just call it Caverns. Caverns Day. Choice CC. It's gonna be Choice Cool Caverns. Oh man. Alright. Well, enter 1, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Hooray! Alright, I need to regenerate the code and then add the game modes. I need to implement the game modes. I need a voting. Alright. Gotta do things. Let's generate the code. Oh no! JSON error in gameobjects.json or something. It's gonna be in our game objects. So I screwed up one of these guys. Yeah, so where is it busted? Missing a comma right there. Alright, valid RFC. Also, it puts me off in GameFlow since the game does not recognize the controller when not highlighted. Well, that's kind of on purpose. Like, we're trying not to hook the controller. Like, if you're outside of the game, you don't want... I don't know. Like, I get it for some things, but if the person hasn't actually clicked into the window, why should the window keep overriding the operating? You know, it's like the user has clicked outside of the window. Why is the game still snagging your input? You know, like that's kind of a breach of trust, right? Like, you're not using the program anymore. You know, the program is you've clicked on something else to go snag the user's input when they're in something else. You know, let's say I alt-tabbed out of a game and went and logged into my bank account. Like, if it still has my keyboard and it's like recording whatever the hell I'm doing, that's kind of like, that's not really okay, right? I understand what you mean though, in that if what you're doing is the game, but when deriving the user's intent, I like to not assume that they want me to hook their keyboard and all their shit all the time. Just because that's kind of, you know, it's kind of being a bad citizen. Oh, you weren't using your processor, so we started mining Bitcoin. You weren't using the game, but we you know, we're logging your keystrokes and reporting that to a central server. Also, you need to go check on your you got a doctor's appointment in 10 minutes. Thanks for typing that out. So, I don't know. The other thing is, of course, that's always something that when in college we disagreed on something, we would throw it in the config menu. Just be like, well, we'll just add it as a config variable. That always gets out of hand. So, I could see the gamepad though, right? Like, the gamepad is kind of a specific thing, right? It's a little different than your mouse and keyboard. You don't use your gamepad to enter your bank account information. And even if you did use it to enter your bank account information, you're not actually like, you know, if we recorded all of your movements, we don't know what virtual keyboard you're on or anything like that to, like, you know, move a mouse dynamically with your sticks. Like, it's not like you're physically entering the actual keys, and if we recorded that, it's not like the end of the fucking world. So I could see a case for the controller. So let me see, because I could just enable that. Yeah, so I think I've got this focus receive stuff, and I think it's inside of the viewport client. Like, I've got, yeah, this has focus is false. Then I ignore the input. So I could change this to just, well, if we have focus, check the key. If the key is one of the, you know, one of the keys that are okay for us to hook outside of it, then I'll go ahead and use it. So why don't we just try it, and I'll see if I'm not comfortable with it. So what I'll do here is, We can't switch off of these keys? Ah, damn it. Well, alright. So left buttons, middle mouse buttons, and then we've got all of these guys. This sort of if-else slide should be optimizable by our compiler. Alright, so we'll snag keypad inputs even if you're alt-tabbed out of the game. It's going to have the secondary implication of being kind of a pain in the ass if I have multiple games open myself, because alright, let's have a global variable that I can easily toggle this on and off. I could imagine this being an actual thing. So we have mouse and input. Alright. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, a toggle can be kind of a pain in the ass, though. Let me look at how difficult it would be to add a toggle. Because we really don't have a whole heck of a lot of room for a toggle. I could remove the control setup banner. Yeah, that might actually be fine to do. Alright, why don't we add it as a toggle then? If we're already in here, so if we just remove this banner entirely, goodbye banner. Nobody likes the Hulk anyway. That's why they rebooted it 5 million times and they still couldn't get people to like him. It's just not a compelling character. Like, who gives a shit? He's angry all the time. Ooh. We have plenty of people who are angry. Alright, if we just move this up a little bit, we'll be able to do stuff. So this controls container. Let's see, left top minus 20 perhaps. Alright, then we move those two guys up. So the controller icon, let's see, top is minus 30 and minus 30. I mean, I think that makes sense. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, what screen am I on? It's got all these buttons on it. And it's like, yeah, it's a fucking control screen. I think we don't need to be hit over the head with a baseball bat about it. No wonder I don't find it a character I like. Alright. The controller mouse, we want hook input when would it be non-focused input or hook always allow input. Settings controls allow input. Controls left settings, browse check uncheck selection. All right. So it's this always allow input. Alright, so I think we need to change this in gameplay, and then we'll implement the rest of it. Alright, so we need to go change the set game controls. This is why I don't... Looks like the Maelstrom guys sorted out their bugs. Set check state of undefined. Oh shit. Settings control screen. Line whatever the hell. 141. There we go. So now we can always allow input. Let's change that. That might be confusing. Always non-focused input. What would be a good you know description of this, because it's basically we always will allow game input. So it'd be like hook, always hook input, or always grab input. Something that says when you're not clicked into me, we're still gonna aggressive input. Yeah. I'll just have controls always active. Let's see if that fits. Yeah, controls always active. Alright. Well, we'll do it that way. Alright, so I need to go change this set game controls function. And I think it's also I need to change Dashkin game data. Where are you? Objects.